Okay, I think okay, this version. Okay, sorry. NetBeans. And it took around 10 to 15 minutes to install. And for my environment, it should be creating any error because I have already installed this IDE in our PC. And the process of the installation is simple, like I have to select the next section, and finally it around 10 to 15 minutes to complete the section. Okay. The installation is configuring and it shows the error that this thing is already installed and already installed. So customize installation, okay, it's not possible yet because I have already installed it. To show you the process, I need to uninstall that ID, and that would be much more complex for the work. So I inform you that to understand this section or IT section, you can see the first lab class, that installation section, and the installation process is so simple, like you have to select the next section and by default section to install it. Yes, tell me. Yes. Oh, YouTube tutorial also, you can see the YouTube tutorial, because in our lab section we install that NetBeans in the Bangla format, so it would be complex for understand for you, and if I provide any types of English tutorial, that would be helpful. Okay. And I provide the link where you can download this section, but now we have to focus on the main section, that is how we create our project or how we done our main section. Okay, ठीक है sir? So this is our the IDE main format or view, how it look likes, and where we all programmed on here. Okay. And to create our first project or in terms of programmed here, we have to create a project like this icon on here. If you see that thing, select that project section, and by default it is focusing on Java and Java application, and we can create any types of application like Java library, Java project, or any free format like this thing, or any types of PHP, C or C++, various types of section you can create the project. So our main focus is Java and Java application, so we created this and provided next, and here we have to select the Java application name. Okay, so we provide a name like first lab on. Okay, first lab on, creating the project. So when you created a Java project, it provide me three folder, like by default source package and the package name and the class name. These things are by default created when you created the Java application actually. Okay, so this is our actually Java class file. Okay, you can remove all the comment line from there. Okay. Can you tell me, have you write any program like C or C++ in the previous section, or any types of knowledge in programming? Which programming language, C or C++? C. Okay. It is mandatory when you started any types of programming language, you have to understand some basic thing to provide any types of advanced level work. and it is mandatory and it is fixed for every programming language. Like in our C programming language, we which keyword we used for printing? Can you tell me anyone? Like printf, okay, for printing something or viewing something. Yes. Then we any types of input like from the user or any types of value for scanf, okay. Yes, for scanf we used for getting any types of input value. So printf is our output and our scanf is input value, and then we have to know about the variable for getting any types of information or any types of values, okay. So our variables, okay, and after that any types of conditional work we have to fix the if condition, and any types of continuous programming we have to select the loop condition, okay. So basic around these 5 topics we have to complete any types of programming language to start as a beginner. And I think this thing already you all know about in your C background, okay. In C we can input like using scanf, like output for printf, or by getting variables like integer, floating, string, long, etc. for getting any types of value and any types of information, and any types of conditional work like logical or conditional work we have to fix using if else or else if, like that. And when you repeated any types of operation again and again in a conditional view, we using the loop, okay. So we already know these 5 topics in C or C++, but we have to know this same thing in the Java development or Java focus, okay. So today we see that first, okay, I provided in comment line, okay. So comment line also same as the our C or C++, like single line comment is double slash, or multiple line comment like slash star or star left slash right slash, okay, for multiple line comment. So it's not much more mandatory for this section, but first we have to know how we printf in our Java section, okay. How we print something. To printing something we have to first focus on the basic class, package or library function or in terms of method. We have to know that thing first, because that would be helpful to understand what we actually doing. Because we all know the Java is actually not fully, maximum we can call that it is object oriented. So every section or every types of keyword, any types of things we have to call in the object oriented focus, okay. So in object oriented focus we have to know the first we have to know in the system section, okay. And system section means we have to first write system, and we have to print something, okay. So system is a package like a folder or a class where we call that information to print something, okay. So here is the system, and then we have to print something or output something. So we have to write the out dot as same as our C print or printf, we write that print, okay, and then we write something here, okay, help. So when we execute this program by this run project execution, it provides the output that shows our the hello. Also we print here, it's providing the output, okay. So in our first section, printf section is already completed. That if we wanted to print something or any types of value, we can print in here, okay. In the printing section there are more discussion section like variable printing section, new line printing section. How we will do this thing in the later section. We will see when we understand the variable section in the Java development, and we can understand that things in the details section. Okay, but after the output section, we have to know about the how we get any types of input. Okay, like scanf, any types of input, getting input. See any types of input value, you have to understand first the variable section. Can you anyone tell me the variable section, how it's work and about or in why we use variable? Anyone can tell me in C respected that why you use variables? Can anyone tell me about the thing? Yes. Okay, any types of information like integer type or decimal type, floating type, string or character type. Yes. Okay, so in not in the different from the C or C++, Java is also following the same syntax or keyword for providing or in terms of gathering information in the variable section, and that is like integer. We can use integer for in terms of decimal value, float for floating value, then string, then character CHR. Behind this some new double is the advanced format of float. It can store around 16 bits, around 80 to 16 bit data collection it can store. Okay, double, then long, then short, so these are the basic variables we can use in Java section. And integer type or in terms of decimal types value, floating types floating value like 15 point. Okay, first providing a name A, B. Okay, we first see this two topics. Okay, integer type and floating type, because this thing we already know in the C or C++. Okay, so in floating, we have to write the if keyword, because floating we have to provide the if keyword to understand this value is floating type. Okay, then we have to printing this section, how we print this value here. Okay, so system, we know system out dot print. Okay, printing value A and printing value B. A and B. Okay. Okay, but there is an issue. That's all the values are in the same line, so it's much complicated to understand which value is actually. So we can use it like new line value. Can anyone tell me how we created any types of new line value in C? Yes, /n. We can write simply like /n. And in Java there is an extra feature, like we without adding any types of /n, we can do this like print len, ln. Okay, print len, that means the print and our new line printing for new line. So after we write the section, it will be providing every separated value, and it is much more clear for us to understand it. Okay. So it is our new line, and how we printing this value or multiple value like both string or character. We can adding like plus operator. Okay. Providing /n plus b, then plus operator or b. So we can concat our value in both string or variable types, any types of types, and by connecting by our plus operator. Okay. And after we execute this, it provides the same what we already get, the value of a and value of b, and this is the integer type and floating type value actually. Okay. So this is the process how we created, how we get printing any types of value. So this section is already our completed section, printing section already complete. Then our variable section is also complete. And we have to know the second section is scanf, how we get the input, because I provide the value on here, integer type around 12, 15.6, floating type value. We provide it by default value, but if there are any types of issues like we need to get that value from the user, we have to use the scanf section or scanf keyword in our which section, in our C or C++. C++ using cin, and C use the scanf section, and Java use in the different way, and this is called the object oriented way. And how we do that thing, here is saying you have to first create a scanner type variable, scanner, and providing a name new scanner. Okay. And we have provide the system dot, in the previous section we tell that system dot out, and for a scanner we have to write the system dot in. Okay. So this is our scan. We provide a name scan. We can change any types of name like scan on or input or output as you like to get that input value. Okay, so here we not need any types of values by default because we can get the input on here. Okay, first we need to provide the section. Okay, first I have to understand about this thing that any types of question about this section, how we create a scanner types variable or object. Is there any question how we declare a scanner type object? Okay, thank you. So we need to now we have to select how we get that scanner types variable. Okay, we created a scanner object, and this scanner object is used to get any types of value. So first we have to value a equal to scan dot has next, byte, int, short, long, float, etc. Because we have to focus our data type, it is integer type, so we have to select the next int. Okay, next int. To print here system. We just print about input input value of A. Okay, you copy it and paste it here, input value of B. Okay, then we select the B, and you have to select this section that integer next float, because it is the floating type variable. Okay, after completed this section, we can run this program by executing this. Okay, we have to provide the input, the value of A around 45 and value of B 48 point something 96, and it provides us the output section. So at this time we understood how we get any types of input, how we created any types of variable, or how we printed it. Okay, 3 section already done. Okay, this 3 section already done: printing section, scanner section, or variable section. In a nutshell, that's called be input, output, and data collecting, or in terms of variable section already done. Okay, so our main focus now is if and loop. Okay, how we get any types of conditional work or any types of repeated work. And if there are any question in this 3 section, feel free to ask me in any types of question or in terms of query. Okay, I advise you to all about section, because in the programming section, when we see any types of tutorial or any types of class or any types of lab work, it seems it looks very easy to do, or any types of we think that it will be solved without any types of error or any types of problem. But when we actually performed it focus in a new problem or new limitation to do it, and that things is the first process of learning something new. Okay, and you all should need to apply this thing or try this thing in your home or in your hostel section in your laptop. So to practice this, you have to first install the IDE and then practice it in your home. And after practicing, if you face any types of problem, look at our live class or any types of directly contact with me on your group section without any types of hesitation. Okay, so here we can do the if else section. Okay,